Do you wish you could get that deep, restful sleep where you wake up feeling refreshed, full of energy, and ready to start the day? Well, guess what? Even if you have insomnia and you aren't getting enough sleep and you're waking up feeling like crap, there is a way to feel a little bit better. Maybe you aren't going to be waking up bouncing full of energy, but you can feel a little bit lighter, feel a little bit more energetic, and just feel a little bit better with your mood. And it's not about waking up and taking a walk in the sunlight or things like that. There's a little bit more that you can do, and if you want to learn how, then keep watching this video. So when you have insomnia and you're feeling exhausted the next day, there's actually two reasons for this. One, the physical reason, you're not getting enough sleep. Of course, you're going to feel fatigued, you're going to feel exhausted, you're not going to feel great the next day. There's nothing we can do about that, or nothing you can do about that right now while you're not sleeping. However, there's another component that's making you feel even worse, and that is from emotional fatigue. That comes from the fight against your insomnia. It's the fight against being awake and try to force yourself to sleep when you can't really make yourself sleep. It's from the fight of your anxiety. If you're having anxiety, which when you have insomnia, you usually do. You always do, pretty much. You have the anxiety, you're trying to fight, you're trying to stop it, you're trying to make it go away, you're trying to diminish it. You have this resistance against the anxiety. You have a racing mind and you're trying to stop it. You're like, stop thinking, stop thinking. You're getting stressed out about that as well. Or if you have palpitations or any other symptoms that come with insomnia, the more you're resisting them, the more you're trying to stop them, the stronger they're going to be, and the more fatigue you're going to feel the next day. That's called the emotional fatigue. That emotional fatigue also comes from all the emotions that you feel when you have insomnia, when you're stressed, you're worried, you have the fear, you may be crying, you may be upset, you may be feeling anger, and all sorts of emotions, and all of that's going to use up a lot of energy, and it's going to make you feel fatigued, and it's going to make you feel like crap the next day. Now, if you are someone who does want more deep, restful sleep, drop me an emoji below in the comment section to let me know. I'm curious to see how many of you there are. So now that you understand what emotional fatigue is and how it's affecting you the next day, let's talk about some strategies to move forward so that you can reduce that emotional fatigue. Now, to start off, I want to make sure you understand, I'm not telling you that to not feel these emotions or to not react or just whatever. It's not possible. You can't just decide, I'm not going to feel emotional. You're going to feel those emotions. And my biggest tip for you is to not fight those emotions, because you're adding that extra emotion, you're adding that extra stress when you try to resist the emotions, when you try to resist being awake, when you try to resist the palpitations. But instead, if you can allow the emotions to happen, allow the anxiety to happen, and just be with the feelings, don't react to them, just allow them to pass, allow them to come through. They are temporary and they aren't going to harm you. Like I said, the more you resist those emotions, the stronger they're going to get. If you can just be with them, they're going to be less intense, because you aren't having that secondary reaction to that reaction, if that makes sense. And they're not going to happen as often the more you allow them to happen. And that is because they're kind of messages from the brain telling you that you're in danger. Now, I haven't explained this in this video yet, but when we try to escape sleeplessness, escape emotions, escape anxiety by taking pills and trying everything and getting frustrated that it's not working, and we have this fear and there's all these emotions, your brain thinks that there is a threat out there. Your brain is obviously confused, but it doesn't know the difference between a physical threat or a perceived threat. So if you're fearing that wakefulness, if you're fearing that anxiety and trying everything you can to escape it, your brain is sending off those fight or flight alert systems or alarm system, whatever you want to call it. The fight or flight is activated, and you're not going to be able to sleep, and your anxiety is going to be higher, your stress is going to be higher, your frustration, everything is just going to be amplified. The more you are willing to experience being awake, the more you're willing to experience anxiety, the emotions, and just be with them, the better off you're going to be, because they're not going to be as intense and they're not going to happen as often. It's not about being okay with being awake, because you can still be not okay with being awake, because I certainly wasn't. I mean, I used to sleep every few days for just a couple of hours. It was miserable. Yes, I wasn't okay with it, but towards the end, almost 30 years later, I finally learned, like, the more I'm willing to allow it to happen, even though I'm not okay with it, the more I'm willing to experience it, the less intense it got, the more sleep I started to get, the more things started to improve with time. Now, no, it's not an immediate reaction where you start to sleep right away, but your brain starts to see that you're safe, and then you start to sleep more. So another thing I really want to point out is that we can't, I know it seems like it with all the pills and supplements and things that they market out there, we can't actually make ourselves sleep when we are wide awake at night. We can't. I know it seems like sleeping pills are making you sleep, and maybe you do sleep after you take a sleeping pill, but it's not really the pill. And I'll post a little link here to a video where I talk about it more, but it's pretty interesting. So I don't want to go into that in this video, because it's going to take way too long. But the more you can learn to let go of trying to control your sleep, the lower your hyperarousal levels are going to be, and the more you're going to be able to sleep with time. And that's part of the willingness to experience the sleeplessness and the anxiety and things like that. If you can go to bed with the intention of resting instead of sleeping, that can take off some pressure to sleep. And even if you are just, now, resting could mean being awake or asleep, and if you can go to bed just with the intention of resting, even if you are wide awake, if you're just resting and relaxing all night, even if you're wide awake, you're still gonna feel better the next day than you would if you were up trying to fight and resist the wakefulness and trying to fight it with pills and supplements and getting frustrated and things like that. If you're just relaxing, allowing it to happen, like, okay, I can't sleep, there's nothing I can do about it in the moment, I might as well just lay here and relax, because that can be restorative right there, just allowing that to happen. Now, before I continue on with some more tips to help you feel better the next day, feel more refreshed, I want to let you know that I have a 5-step guide on how to get more sleep and what is keeping you stuck, so that you can feel more refreshed the next day. You can find the link in the description below this video, and go click it. It is absolutely free, and it's really helpful to kind of understand, or really understand, why you are stuck, why you can't sleep, and how you can start to get more sleep with time. So let's continue with some more tips to help you feel more restful the next day. And yes, in the beginning I mentioned that I'm going to be talking about things more than just like taking a walk in the sunlight, getting fresh air, things like that, because there's more to it, that emotional fatigue. With that said, I still want to recommend the next day when you first wake up, or as soon as you can, to go out, take a walk in the sunlight, go take a walk, get some fresh air and movement, because it is great for your mental health and physical. Mentally and physically, you're going to feel better for that day. It really is powerful, and just a few minutes outside can make a big difference. Same with if you feel any, like the afternoon slump, or you're not feeling great, take a walk outside. Kind of like self-care. Another one is to take a nap. That can really help you feel great and more restful that day. Now, don't take too many naps, but having a quick nap when you're not feeling great, if you can, because not everyone can take naps. When I had insomnia, forget it, that's not happening, no nap. But some people can, and if you can, take a nap. Sleeping in a dark room, even if you're only getting a little bit of sleep, that dark room is going to help you have better quality sleep, or when you are actually asleep, you can have a little more restorative sleep. Wearing blue light blocking glasses. Now, I am not someone who says you need to take the electronics away. When you have insomnia, instead of being up trying to fight insomnia and frustrated and exhausted, if you enjoy being on a or on your iPad watching a TV show or a movie or whatever, I say go for it. I'm not against it. Yes, it can delay your sleep a little bit, but if you're on your TV show, on your electronics, happy, you're not being all frustrated, emotional, and raising your hyperarousal and stress levels even higher, I think it's going to more than make up for the fact that you're going to delay your sleep a few minutes by using electronics. But you can do what I do. I use blue light blocking glasses. Now, I don't know if they really do work, but I wear them just in case. And when you do look at blue light blocking glasses, look for ones that try to get as close to 100% blocking of the blue light. Mine say 99.9%. I think there's ones that say 100% out there. Some people swear by them. I don't know if they really do work. I think there's mixed reviews, but you could always give it a shot. And lastly is temperature. I'm a hot sleeper. I don't know about you, but I need to have the room chilly and all bundled up to be able to sleep. There's actually science that shows that you have better quality sleep when it's cool. They say between 60 and 67 or something like that is the optimal range to sleep in. And I know that seems chilly, but when you have it that cool and you're all bundled up in a blanket, it feels amazing. So even that little bit of sleep you get might be a little bit better. Now, if you found this video helpful, definitely check out this video where I talk about needing sleep to get through the day. Or you may enjoy this video as well. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.